Just when you thought Bud Light might have hit the bottom, or scraping the bottom, or are digging in the ground underneath the bottom of the barrel, no, they decide to find a new low because, the new numbers just came out for the past sales week, and guess what? They're actually the lowest that they've ever been. Big shock on that one, right? Bud Light sales take the steepest hit yet since the Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. Oh my God. Listen, man, it's legitimately the gift that keeps on giving, and we still have that new marketing campaign that's supposed to be coming out this week. Ooh. I guess they just wanted all the bad news to come out, and then they can just start fresh tomorrow. I don't even know specifically when it's supposed to come out, but I'm waiting. Bud Light suffered its worst weekly sales drops since the nation's number one beer brand launched its ill-fated marketing tie-up with tranny influencer Dylan Mulvaney. For the week ending June 10th, Bud Light sales dropped by a whopping 26.8%. Fucking Christ. According to the latest data from Bump Williams Consulting and Nielsen IQ, the same two firms that have been tracking this stuff the entire time. So we can pretty much believe that they're at least accurate on this. And that's wider than the 24.4% drop they seen the prior week and topped the all-time previous worst plunge by over a full point. Oh my God, 25.7% in the week ending May 20th. So it's weird because what can you glean from this? So the only parts that are missing right there is everything in, on, and around Memorial Day long weekend, which is kind of weird, wouldn't you think? With all of the pressure, and historically speaking, like the long weekend would be the time when people want to get fucked up and would be reaching for some cheap shit. So Bud Light should be moving off this shelves, except for this year for very obvious reasons. So why was everything pumped up? Oh, you guys remember all the different sales tactics, right? And the rebates, basically free beer, cases, 24 packs running at $1.78. Like, it might be able to hold off the complete and total rock bottom, but at what cost? You're eventually going to have to come to terms with the fact that you guys failed tremendously. Anheuser Busch's other brands also took a step backwards. Oh, again, so it looks like, it gets worse. Hey, wait, there's more, and it's not good. Anheuser Busch's other brands also took a step back in the week ending June 10th. According to the data, sales for Budweiser were down 10% compared to the 7.8% decline the previous week, while Natty Light was down 2.3% versus the 1% decline. Michelob Ultra, the nation's number 3 beer, was down 2.4%. So it looks like people have enough, distance between Michelob Ultra and Bud Light to differentiate the two. So I guess that's a W, for Anheuser-Busch. This was a tough week for Bud Light and other beer brands under their own umbrella. I'm sure Modelo's numbers were probably fantastic. Owned by Anheuser-Busch. Said Bump Williams, head of the eponymous consulting firm. Calls for the boycott from conservative corners. Oh my God, enough already. It's everybody. Christ almighty, I shit-canned one story, which we'll talk about tomorrow, where there's more gay bars removing the beer from their taps because they don't like the fact that Bud Light didn't go gay enough for them. So every single time that pops up, I'm just going to go ahead and dispel that notion, but probably talk about that tomorrow, just in case you're interested. Over the Mulvaney campaign has cost Belgian beer-based company more than $20 billion. Yeah, it's not good. It's really not good. The nation's number 2 beer, well, actually, it's the number 1 beer now, Modelo Especial, meanwhile, saw a 5.7 increase versus a year earlier in the most recent week. So again, they continue to trend up, and Bud Light, well, you can pretty much fill an entire bathtub with everything that you're not buying. And by bathtub, I mean one of the lakes around Michigan. In the previous week, it had seen a 12.2% bump from the year earlier. Holy! Maybe people were trying Modelo, and it's like, actually, no, that's kind of gross. Still, Bud Light remains the number 1 beer brand and has several $100 million advantage over Modelo Especial on a year-to-date basis. Okay, over the year. But we seen for the month of May, they ended up, Bud Light fell to number 2, so you can go ahead and conflate and move the goalposts, but at least during the time frame that matters, Modelo wins, Bud Light loses, and Dylan Mulvaney just realized that there were 6 cans in that pack and realized that, I think I might have found the sixth one. Modelo has been outselling its rival on a weekly basis since May, the data shows, but for Bud Light to be unseated, it would require the declines to continue and Modelo's increases to continue through the end of the year. Williams predicts that it'll be unlikely for Modelo to become the number one brand on a 52-week basis. Yeah, no, that would take a catastrophic failure. So that's why we're just kind of interested in with what's going to happen with the new campaign, but weary eyes will have to wait a couple more days. Perhaps, or it could just drop tomorrow and we'll just all be, super happy about that. In some instances, the trends of a particular brand may be healthy in some local areas across the country and worse in others. Yes, of course, we've seen all of the sales data at this point in time, and Anheuser Busch, well, that's all right. They're totally fine because they're still award-winning. Yo, check this shit out. This is funny. Anheuser Busch executives win a Cannes Lion despite Dylan Mulvaney's Bud Light fiasco. Yep, they're still award-winning. Anheuser Busch award-winning train wreck. Top marketing executive for Bud Light parent Anheuser-Busch InBev received an award for Creative Marketer of the Year. How could you offer that award? How could you hand out that award? How could you receive that award knowing that your company is basically on fire at this point in time? If you didn't do it with a straight face, I would give you props for that. But, man, these guys are so detached from reality. Well, I can see it totally going off without a hitch. Marcel Marcondes told advertising peers at the Cannes Lion Marketing Conference in France on Monday that the Mulvaney saga served as a wake-up call to the industry. But, like fellow Anheuser-Busch brass, Marcondes stopped short of offering an apology for the Mulvaney partnership. Of course, he was just happy. Oh, I've got this lion I can put on my mantle. It'll be great right next to my other button paid for awards. In times like this, we learn to love again. Oh, no. Oh, when things get divisive and controversial so easily. I think it's important that it's an important wake-up call to all of us marketers for us to be very humble. Yeah, and just sell beer. Stop being political. You took one step too far. Go figure. AB InBev is really reminding ourselves of what we should be doing every day, doing best every day, which is really understand our customers, which is to really celebrate and appreciate every customer that loves our brands, but in a way that can make them be together, not apart. You haven't learned a fucking thing. You just go out there and you glad hand and say, yeah, it's been a wake-up call, but we're still going to be inclusive. Shut your fucking mouth. Marcondes has been at AB InBev for almost 2 decades, was named the winner of the annual award before the Mulvaney controversy erupted in early April. Yeah, no, we kind of figured that as well. It would just be so hilarious in peak 2023 if somebody who resided over an absolute dumpster fire ended up getting awarded for it. You would think his surname is Biden if he could get away with that. Though there were whispers that it would have been best for him to decline the prize in the light of the boycott, according to the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, exactly. But all of these people, they all come together and they all huff each other's farts and don't realize that everybody is laughing at them. All of these award ceremonies at this point in time, they aren't for the public. They aren't to recognize anybody's quality work that they're doing. It's all to just pat each other on the back, regardless if it's the true Oscars, if it's the Grammys, if it's the fucking BET Awards. It really doesn't much matter. It's for everybody who's in the certain tax bracket to come together, share insider secrets, exchange incriminating photographs, and then just fucking move on and then just reconvene at the next fucking event. They don't actually care about the work that's being done. It's about how many people can check the right boxes and how many money laundering opportunities they can go ahead and offer each other. Oh, you want to be a part of this new ad campaign? Well, that's fantastic. Here's your upfront signing bonus. Don't mention it to anybody. Oh, would you like to write a book? Here's your cash advance. It's like, for fuck's sakes, we already know what's going on here. Nobody takes any of this shit seriously. Kind of like his tailor doesn't take, suit jacket measurements all that seriously. Anheuser-Busch has lost nearly $20 billion since Mulvaney posted images and videos. Let's just get this correct. Touting Bud Light. Mulvaney post sparked anger from many who vowed to boycott Bud Light and its sister brands. It's funny how we're using the exact same publication, New York Post, for these two articles, but the characterization of the boycotts is completely different. between the two. The intensity of the backlash cost Bud Light its status as the nation's most popular beer in May, according to the latest sales figures. And even doing that as well, like, you're honest about, not being the number one beer brand, at least for May. Fuck, they didn't even bring it up in the actual sales figure data. What kind of a narrative are you guys trying to spin over there? Interesting. Bud Light was supplanted by Modelo Especial, a Mexican lager whose international distribution is controlled by AB InBev. That's why they don't care all that much. But whose U.S. operations are owned by Constellation Brands. Brendan Whitworth, who heads AB InBev's U.S. operations, said Bud Light's parent company will cut checks to reeling wholesalers and distributors. Yes, exactly. And if you guys like to, and if you don't think that our compensation is adequate, you can go down, you can go take a picture with the brand new marketing award that Mr. Marcondes just magically won, I'm sure, on all of his good work that he's done. Because can you think of a marketing campaign that Anheuser Busch has put out there in the past 12 months that is worthy of an award? Fuck, I can't even think of a marketing campaign. Well, other than, the very obvious one. Brendan Whitworth, who heads AB InBev's U.S. operations. Yeah, he was also talking about the discussion surrounding our company, and Bud Light has moved away from beer. You guys did that to yourself, and now you've been caught, and it's like, we're just going to be a humble beer merchant from now on. Yeah, you should have stayed in that lane, but you didn't. You did this weird thing, right? You played a stupid game. You won a stupid prize. You fucked around. And you found out. You went woke, and guess what? You went broke. Sucks to suck, I guess. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.